Greetings once again, Shinobi. Duuz-Diz-Din back with another chapter of Boruto, Two Blue Vortex, where previously, after Boruto and Mitsuki's encounter, something which Ada was able to see with her Senringan, I think that's what it's called, Ada started to have emotions. It seems as though Boruto's new perspective has actually made him a lot more mature, especially in Ada's eye. And when Mitsuki returns to the house of Kawaki and the others, only to find Ada and Damon, Ada and Mitsuki have a heart-to-heart of sort. Because, let's face it, Mitsuki's attraction to Kawaki is ultimately misplaced. It was Boruto's personality that drew Mitsuki's in. And for Ada, the thing that drew her to Kawaki is kind of slipping by, as it really started to falter when he became so obsessive and almost downright maniacal in his quest to destroy the Otsutsuki. Has Boruto unlocked Riz no Jutsu? Was that a cringe statement? Yes, it was. Regardless, while Kawaki and Delta go to try to hunt down Boruto, it's through a conversation through Kawaki and Shikamaru that Boruto is able to know that they're honing in on his position, so he makes a quick escape, which leaves Kawaki feeling a bit suspect about how it seemed as though Boruto knew they were approaching. This has to be tabled, however, as there's some intruders at the gates of the Hidden Leaf Village. It's none other than the God Trees, namely Jura and Hidari, the clone of Sasuke. Jura has come looking for Naruto Uzumaki, wishing to absorb him, as the God Trees, in gaining sentience, have eked out targets with which they wish to capture, and Hidari has followed Jura on a bit of a whim. Honestly, they've kind of just been taking the scenic route for the most part. That is, up until Jura detects Naruto's presence somehow, despite him being locked away in another dimension. But who should the two come upon? None other than Himawari and the young Inoshikacho trio. Also of note, they had a brief scuffle with Kawaki, and let's just say the God Trees, they didn't mess around when it came to Kawaki. He was very lucky they weren't that he wasn't one of their targets. But oddly enough, Himawari is the target of Jura, as he senses the presence of Naruto Uzumaki in Himawari. You would think that would have been the case if it was in terms of Boruto. When they encountered him, there was no need for Jura to go after Boruto. So what is it about Himawari that has drawn Jura's attention? Why does he detect Naruto within her? And is it something to do with the nine-tailed fox? Join me as I find out, won't you? Alright, Boruto, Two Blue Vortex, Chapter 9. Nine Tails, okay. Are you, already giving me the hint? And I gotta say, in this image, the only one who looks kinda cool is Shikadai. Chocho looks like a girl who's trying way too hard to seem mature, which, okay, given her age, that tracks. But Inojin, kid, the clothes are cool, it's the haircut. That boogity ass haircut. Just, oh man, kid. I hope you haven't been taking style tips from your dad or something, cause, oof. Man, you're lucky you're young, cause this is the only time frame where you could pull something like that off, even remotely. That is the haircut of a kid who either needs to be really cool or have a lot of money not to be picked on. Alright. Himawari and the Inoshikacho are confronted by Jura and Hidari. Hidari simply tells them, "We thought we were chasing Uzumaki Naruto, so imagine our surprise when you found this little girl instead." Inojin continues to try to block off Himawari from them, while Shikadai tries to get in contact with the Sentry Unit, mentally going, "Sentry Unit, do you copy? This is Shikadai of Team 10. You've run into two likely trespassers. No sign of Master Sasuke. We request immediate backup." Alright, one of them was kind of seen as Sasuke because Hidari carries his Chaka signature DNA. I'm not really sure how the cloning process works for them. Meanwhile, Jura's out here waiting for a response, and Shikadai questions, "Why come to such a remote place? You looking for something?" Wait, did he not just hear him say he was looking for Naruto Uzumaki? Or was that Jura musing to Hidari? Okay, so I guess the black parts of them, the clothing-like parts of them still work just like the claw grim, because Jura just reaches inside his cloak and pulls out a book, much to the shock of everyone else. He flips through the pages. Oh, he has a intel book? Okay. This guy gets scarier by the minute. He is weirdly capable. He flips through the book and looks in, saying, "Aren't you? That's right. Nara Shikadai of Kazumatori Moeki's Team 10 and the current Hokage's son." And that's updated intel. Where did you get that book? Was it from the ninjas you ambushed? Or tried to ambush you? Shikadai pauses, then says, "Yes, so what? You have a message for my dad or something?" Jura tells him, "Actually, our business is with his predecessor. We came here following Uzumaki Naruto's trail. So frankly, we're surprised too." Inojin says, "But there's no way Lord Seventh would be here, because 3 years ago he..." And Shikadai says, "Hey, they don't need to know that." Yeah, the internal politics and all that. Jura says, "I see. Well, he definitely doesn't seem to be anywhere in this village, but the only Nine-Tails signature is coming from this girl." So they are tracking the Nine-Tails signature. But why would it only be in Himawari? Why wouldn't it have also manifested to some degree in Boruto? Everyone's taken off guard by this statement, with Inojin questioningly reiterating, "Nine-Tails?" And Chocho questions, what's he going on about? Plus, look at him. He's gotta be a total body. Oh my God, Chocho, I swear to God. Himawari continues not to speak, while Shikadai says, "Hey, explain yourself. What's Nine-Tails got to do with Himawari?" Jura says, "I don't know either. Truly, this world keeps raising one question after another, and that is why we keep reading." Oh, and yet I like that. And suddenly, a tree starts to try to form from underneath Himawari, and it begins to encase her before she can even respond. Inojin calls to Himawari, and Shikadai immediately uses Shadow Paralysis Jutsu and binds the tree before it can fully encase Himawari, and he begins to pull it off of her. Nice work, Shikadai. Not bad. Inojin uses cartoon beast mimicry to make a cartoon chameleon that pulls Himawari out of the tree, while Chocho uses partial expansion to catch her. As Chocho tends to Himawari, Inojin rushes over, calling out to her, and Jura states, "How magnificent! Such incredible coordination without a single verbal exchange." Actually, he's right. They leapt into action just immediately. True. They're actually doing their parents a bit of justice on this one. He then says, "A warning out of respect for your teamwork. Our sole target today is Uzumaki Himawari." Oh, so he's changed his directive because he's curious. That's not good. But at the same time, it pulls Himawari into the story, so I don't hate it. We bear no enmity. I know this word, and yet I'm having a hard time saying it. Enmity? We bear no enmity towards Team 10. However, if you insist on continuing to resist, we'll have no choice but to attack you. And Shikadai, you can see him start to panic because he's just like, ooh, we are way in over our head. But suddenly a communication comes over the mental comms communication. Shikamaru calls out to Shikadai, and Shikadai responds to his dad. Shikamaru questions, "You okay? Report." Shikadai explains, "The enemy's target is Himawari. The reason isn't clear, but it has to do with the Nine-Tails." Shikamaru says, "What?" Which I can't blame him for. It's just like, wait, what? Man, it's been one hell of a day. This is still the same day going. As Chocho helps Himawari up, they're still staring down Jura, with Himawari thinking to herself, "I don't get it. Why me?" Okay, I couldn't tell what I was looking at for a second there, but we have a image of Delta trying to wake up Kawaki, which is being viewed through her eyes by Amado on a monitor. I think that's what I'm seeing. I had to really think about that for a second. But that could be the only way he's observing this. You know, Delta's going, "Hey, wake up, Kawaki!" And she tries to shake him. Meanwhile, Amado's typing away at a keyboard. And then I think he goes back to the image of Jura, and Amado questions, "What the heck is this guy?" Yep, Amado, this is one of the reasons why we need you around. Because you are about the only person who could possibly, hopefully, analyze what we're looking at. Meanwhile, at some underground base that honestly kind of looks like someplace that Orochimaru would hide out on. But it has to be like one of the Kara bases or something. Boruto is chilling out looking at his karma mark, while Kashin Kojin calls out saying, Boruto, they've made a move. Oh, okay. Kojin is observing things through one of the toads, who views the destruction where Jiraiya used the tree to impale several of the Leaf Village ninja. Boruto questions where? Konoha? As he grabs his sword. Kojin says, yeah, fly to the triangle. The triangle? Oh, is that what the toad is carrying? I was wondering, I'm like, what is that toad carrying? A triangle? Huh. Is it marked with the symbol for the flying Raijin? Oh, it makes sense. Man, God, the technique that has been passed down through the Uzumaki line is a strong one. Boruto coolly puts on his cloak and gets ready to head out. Meanwhile, over with Shikadai, he asked her, let me ask you one thing. You said you came here following Uzumaki Naruto's trail, right? And all the while Shikamaru is listening in as Shikadai says, but now you're after Himawari. Why is that? Man, Shikadai not beating the Shikamaru clone allegations because they think the exact same way. Get as much information out of the enemy as you can. Jura says, I'll be frank, the trail we followed is Ninetales', and we happened to sense his chakra signature in Uzumaki Himawari. And naturally Shikadai has the $1,000,000 question that he mentally thinks, saying, what the heck? Why Himawari? Besides, I thought Ninetales was dead. I should have known they wouldn't kill the Ninetales off that easily. Although, there's no guarantee, like I think I said previously, that even if the Ninetales can be resurrected, it'll come back in a form that we're used to, you know? Himawari questions Ninetales' chakra. Shocho then holds Himawari close, telling her, relax, Hima, gotta be some mistake. There's no reason in the world for these wackos to be after you. Shura tells her, as I mentioned earlier, we're surprised too, but we need to find out why this situation exists, and we'll at least get one answer by devouring you, Uzumaki Himawari. Yep. Like, the simplest answer is to eat you. Then we'll find out what's going on. Like, oh, okay. That's not gonna happen. I'm kinda loving this. I'm living for this situation. The others are shocked, with Shikadai questioning devour as everyone's on their guard. Jura steps forward with his weird-looking feet. God, I hate looking at their feet, but it helps to reiterate how alien they are. And as Jura steps forward, he says, you've been warned, Ino Shikocho. I don't know. It's one thing when the villain dismisses certain characters as like they're nothing, but I don't know, there's something even more ominous by the fact that he fully acknowledges who they are. It's just like, I know who you are. I know what you're capable of. I think you're actually pretty impressive, all things considered, but I will kill you. Like, just because I know who you are and I acknowledge you three does not mean that I will not hesitate to violently murder you. Like, you remember that one scene in Evil Dead? Oh, we're about to get as creative as that. Meanwhile, Shikamaru still in his office, dictating orders saying, hurry up. Their location is Sector D Northwest. Team 10 has engaged. Suddenly a voice calls out, behind you, Nara Shikamaru. But don't look back. Shikamaru doesn't move, but there's a toad on his desk. You really gotta make sure you close doors, man. The toad says, link up with Yamanaka Ino. And Boruto's entered Konoha. I kinda love this, because it's like, it feels like actual ninja tactics. Like, stuff happening on the sly. Discreet communications, all that kind of stuff. Like, man, I kind of miss that in Naruto. Meanwhile, back on the rooftop where Kawaki got his shit wrecked, he finally starts to stir and he gets up with Delta saying, you're finally awake. Don't worry me like that. How could I face Ida if you died? I love that that's her concern. Kawaki tells her, quit yapping in my ear. The damage is almost fully healed. Delta tells him, just because you have near limitless regenerative ability doesn't mean you should be reckless. Yeah, it's like, it's near limitless. You can still get your ass kicked in. Kawaki then notices something, and while Delta gets ready to take off, she says they're on the outskirts of Sector D. Come on, let's go. But Kawaki tells her, hold up. We've got one other uninvited guest. We then cut to Boruto over where the toad who was holding the triangle is at. But he's no longer holding the triangle, interestingly enough. I do love the intricate nature of what Boruto can do. And he's just there, striking a cool pose, looking at the handiwork of Jura. The toad tells him, Mokuto no Jutsu. There's no mistake. It's them all right. As the toad hops onto Boruto's cloak, Shikamaru then comes in on a mental communication saying, can you hear me, Boruto? We're on a private line of Inos just like before. Boruto says, yeah, loud and clear. Shikamaru tells him, there are two enemies, your divine trees by the looks of it. They supposedly came looking for Naruto, but now they're after Himawari for some reason. Boruto's shocked, saying, Himawari? The toad is listening intently as Shikamaru says, it seems the Nine-Tails chakra is involved. Ring any bells? Boruto then says, the Nine-Tails? Questioningly, and Kashin Kojin, his ears perk up on this communication. I wonder how he's involved in all of this. It's interesting that he's trained Boruto a little bit too, which is actually kind of cool. But what is it that has gotten Kashin Kojin involved in all of this? I have to wonder. Unfortunately, the communication is tabled as Kawaki and Delta show up. He immediately says, Sentry Unit? Kawaki here, confirming Boruto's trespass. He's probably erased his chakra signature near the Great Gate, right where the Jonin were murdered. Boruto goes, sucking his teeth because he's pretty much not ready to have to deal with Kawaki and his BS right now, especially finding out what he's found out. Kawaki asks, what are you sneaking around for? And those creepy monsters, they friends of yours? Boruto gets on the mental communication saying, Lord Eighth, I need a little time. Kawaki's found at me. With Shikamaru going, what? It's just one terrible surprise after another. Boruto turns to face Kawaki saying, and what are you loitering here for? When Konoha is under enemy attack. Kawaki says that's some serious self-denial. You're the enemy of Konoha, Boruto. Boruto says enough. Dealing with them is the higher priority. If you want, you're welcome to come along. Kawaki pauses and then asks, are you mocking me? Kawaki then tries to use his eye technique to stab Boruto with the black rods or whatever that he's able to summon, but Boruto just easily dodges, much to the shock of Kawaki and Delta. As Boruto continues to step towards Kawaki, Kawaki tries it again, and Boruto once again dodges the black metal rods. Kawaki tries to go in with his hand mutated into a claw. Holy crap, but Boruto just decks him right in the stomach and knocks him to the ground. I had to check for a second, but I'm just like, did he just gut check him? Delta looks at Kawaki on the ground gasping for air, going, whoa. As Kawaki can barely even look at Boruto. Man, Boruto is just clowning on everyone. Like, first Ko, now Kawaki, like, Jesus. And I feel like some people might complain that how has Boruto grown so strong when Naruto's training didn't even make him that strong? Naruto's training was an attempt to be able to control the Nine-Tails, which, mind you, he failed at. It was only after, like, coming to some realizations about himself that he was able to control the Nine-Tails. Mostly power of love, my parents loved me, yada yada yada. That gave him the strength to control it. Boruto, I feel like he found that resolve the moment Kawaki like screwed over Boruto's life. he made that train pay off. Like, damn. Boruto looks down on Kawaki both figuratively and literally, saying, pitiful. Have you been training at all? While a still shocked Delta says, more like how much did you train? And of course, Kawaki goes to activate his karma, and this causes resonance with Boruto's karma that begins to activate as well. The toad thinks this is bad. The karmas are resonating, and as Boruto's karma takes more and more control, he grabs a hold of it, trying to force it back, much to the shock of Kawaki. The toad says, Boruto, you need to leave now. Put distance between you, or you're gonna lose control. More likely trying to keep Momoshiki at bay. Boruto then flies up, taking off, much to the shock of Delta, who questions, what the heck? Kawaki looks at his own karma, then he makes a mental note. He can't control his karma? Meanwhile, back with the Inoshika-cho, Inojin has made a cartoon bird to help get some distance between Himawari and Jura. But Jura never loses eye contact with Himawari. Well, visual contact with Himawari. But before he can move, he finds himself locked in place. Shikadai holding him in place with his shadow. He calls out, hey, you might want to pay attention here. We're the ones you're fighting. Jura says, oh, right, that's too bad. He closes one eye and, oh god, he manages to summon a tail beast bomb with one eye, which, some degree that makes sense. I mean, considering they're all made out of the 10 tails, which is a tailed beast. And just to be able to do it with one eye, god. You'd think it would be a mouth blast, but he's trying to maintain his cool look. Shikadai immediately starts to panic, thinking, aw, shoot. But, ooh, Chocho with the save. Going for a partial expansion, she knocks Juro away, calling out to Shikadai to move the hell out of the way. And he does just that. The tail beast bomb goes flying and explodes nearby. And it is a massive explosion. Like, Jesus. Man, I hope plenty of people evacuated, because somebody probably died in that. Shikadai is blown away. Chocho braces herself. Inojin's bird tries to stable itself, and Himawari just looks on in shock at the devastation. Sarada and Sumire see the explosion in the distance as they go racing off, with Sumire saying, that way, let's hurry. With Sarada thinking, Himawari, everyone, please be okay. Like, are you guys gonna actually make it in time? Y'all been running since last chapter. As Shikadai tries to pick himself up, he gets in mental communication with Inojin saying, Inojin, Chocho and I need a lift. Inojin turns to Himawari saying, Himawari, hold on tight. He flies in with his bird and picks Shikadai and Chocho up, and they get the hell up out of there, which probably the smart move. Is it gonna matter? Probably not, but we'll see. Jura he just kinda watches. He's up to something. No way they'd be getting that much distance without him being up to something. Yeah, even Hidari's like, they're getting away. That okay? I love the nonchalant nature of that. Jura says, our target is Uzumaki Himawari. They knew all they had to do was hand her over, but they intend to keep resisting to the bitter end at the risk of death. Hidari says, fools, they don't seem too intelligent. Jura says, that's not true. Something is driving them past their own survival instincts. What that something is likely to be crucial information for us as well. See, it's one of those things, because you would take that as, are the villains being stupid? No, because here it's at least a little bit more explainable in that they're new entities. They're not just trying to go for their goal mindlessly, they're also trying to build their own form of understanding about the human nature. What does it mean to be human? Why do humans do the things that they do? Like, these kids aren't being driven by logic. They should know very easily that I'd kill him in a second. But he's interested in what they do, how they go about it, why they go about it. What might seem like a pointless struggle to others is absolute desperation to them. They're not one to sell out a friend, which, good on them. As the Inoshika-cho fly away with Himawari, Shikadai notes, that was close. There would have been nothing left of us if that had hit. But as long as Himawari's with us, they probably won't unleash that attack again. Let's wait together to see what they'll do next. Chocho then questions, either way, shouldn't we fly out of the village? Actually, yeah, that's a good point. After seeing that, Shikadai says, good thinking. We can lead them away. And then Himawari takes a moment and then says, Inojin, could you let me off somewhere alone? Inojin goes, huh? Himawari says, I'll escape on my own. Inojin says, hold up. What are you talking about? No way. Shikadai says, there's no way they won't catch you. You know that, right? But Himawari notes, but it's the same for you. They're too strong. Which, yeah, at this rate you'll all, oh, is she in the realm of the Nine-Tailed? Oh. You know, I'm thinking about it now. Is it possible that Kurama, he had a back door? As Himawari mentally finds herself someplace else, looking around going, in the real world, she just looks like she's staring out into the void, with Shikadai going, Hello? Himawari? Meanwhile, in a very familiar mental scape that looks like Himawari walking on water, she continues to look around going, where? Oh snap. A very familiar figure, but smaller, with 9 tails, says, good grief, I can't believe that jerk 10 tails would sniff me out. As Himawari turns to the figure, a small 9-tailed fox asks, little girl, you know who I am? And Himawari questions, you're the 9 tails, right? I can hear people now being like, oh, it's a cop out. Such a significant death has been erased. Yada, yada, yada. But I'm gonna be real. I'm kind of happy about it. Just because I don't think you can really kill off one of the tailed beasts. Because I feel like even if you did kill off a host, it'd just come back in some way, shape, or form. I'm pretty sure that was established. So Kurama's sacrifice was always kind of felt a little dubious, because I feel like I remember it being noted that they could come back some way. Even if the host dies, they'd come back. But then again, Kurama extinguished his life. But, would that really mean he'd be permanently gone? And is this even Kurama? Does he have any of those memories? Or is it just Kurama from a certain point in time? Like he photocopied himself over? Or is this a small portion of him? Because, again, I said it last time. Kurama has had portions of himself all over the place. Multiple different people. It's happened all throughout Naruto Shippuden, both canon and non-canon. His chakra has been everywhere. It's been divided up. It's been portioned out. Some people have had this aspect of Kurama. Like Minato had the yin or the yang half of Kurama's chakra. Shoot, it was only by taking a portion of Kurama's chakra that the 10 tails was able to be reformed in Shippuden. You had the Gold and Silver brothers who had a portion of the 9 tails chakra. You had filler characters who had a portion of the 9 tails chakra. It was everywhere. It was everywhere. Both filler and canon material made it damn certain you knew that Kurama's chakra could be portioned out in a variety of weird and out there ways. So finding out that Kurama somehow is alive in Himawari, which tells me that it couldn't have been through birth, because unless there's something about Boruto we don't know about, could be, you never know. Something weird had to have happened at some point that allowed Himawari to gain access to this power. Because Naruto, he didn't manifest anything involving the fox until he was older. Until the start of Naruto. Because he never, as far as we know, manifested the fox until he started doing actual ninja stuff. So Himawari is around that age now. But I don't think she'll have full but then again, Himawari doesn't quite have the same kind of baggage Naruto did. And the transfer of power, the way that it's manifesting, is not coming to her in a violent manner. It's not angry. The angry nature of the chakra wasn't passed on. This is that kinder version of Kurama. So could Himawari have an easier time potentially getting into those transformations and modes and different abilities that Naruto took him later on in life to be able to do? Could she get the cloak and all that good stuff? It's a possibility. Because the chakra abilities and all that, they wouldn't be as violent. But could it still be violent because she needs time in order to control it? This raises so many interesting questions. Now, I will admit, for this, I wish Naruto was around for this. Because this could be interesting in terms of training her. I'm so interested to see where this goes. Man, both Naruto's kids getting all these cool abilities and stuff. Sarada, I need you to pick it up, honey. I need you to pick it up. I need you to get those cool powers as soon as possible. Come on, sweetie. The Uzumaki kids are beating you at this rate. We need you to get those cool Uchiha powers as soon as possible. And honestly, I also gotta give props to the Ina Shikacho trio, because they were woefully outmatched, and the opponent was going very easy on them. because he was not trying. But at the same time, their teamwork was actually fairly impressive. Like, not bad. I really like where this is going. Like, this is some interesting stuff. Do I feel like it'll dissuade the haters of Boruto? Oh god, no. No. Even when the Boruto anime comes back, people are still gonna be hating on it for years to come. But those who know, you know. This is some pretty cool stuff. I'm interested to see where we go from here on out. Glad the Ina Shikacho got to have a little bit of a moment to shine. I love that their ride or die kind of makes me think of, their parents coming to Sakura's aid in the Forest of Death against the Sound Trio and all that. Very kind of reminiscent of that. It's just like, no, we down. We ride or die. We do or die. Do I think that they'll have more moments in the future? Maybe she could die. Maybe she could die, but I don't know about the rest of them. But I'm interested to see where this goes. And just how much Jura and Hidari just lazily stroll after them. They're taking their sweet time, which isn't bad by any means. They're taking in the sight, taking in the experiences, having a good time. It's baby this day out, essentially. I'm living for it. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed the ride. Thanks again for watching, and until next time, I've been Duuz-Diz-Din, and I hope to see you later. Take care. Bye-bye.